people standing around.
Ooh.
Back live.
Okay, we're back live. And just while we're off air, I was going to talk. We were just talking about Gorilla Customs, and I see a '38 Dodge pops up. So you guys are, besides building, you're building the simulators on the Gorilla Custom side, and so these guys can have driving capability. But you're doing hot rod work in there too.
Yeah, I mean we do. We have some. We have mills and a lot of your metal fabrication equipment. So for the cockpits and more, whether it be prototyping or manufacturing of our cockpits or controls. So when you have slowdowns in simulation throughout certain times, especially when the race season ends, we want to keep the equipment busy, and we all come from the racing or automotive backgrounds and fabrication side. So yeah, we built the frame for the '38 Dodge. 49 Ford we did some work on, just more fabrication stuff, but just keep the equipment busy and people working.
How many guys, you're doing the software on the one side. How many of these guys are buying these simulators and trying to use it to get more experience at a track?
Right now we've probably got 50-something out there, but I mean, I'd say, kind of what I was saying earlier, I think in ARCA, the top 10 finishers at almost every track we could pick, a wide majority of those would be clients of ours that we work closely with and that use them in their homes. So as far as the champions for the last 4 years, they're all our clients, from McDowell to Justin Lofton to Allgaier to Ty and Austin Dillon to Parker Kligerman, to the people that really streamline through in development. And obviously we all knew Ty was going to move quickly through his development, but Parker Kligerman and McDowell, especially Parker, he's someone that had never been in a stock car before in his life, and worked with us on the sim as a developer and beta tester for probably 4 years. And when he finally got his chance in the car, I think he was second in practice, his first practice ever in the car. So if you take it seriously and you really know how to use simulation, you absolutely can train. And we focus, we may lack a little bit on the graphic qualities compared to our competitor. But then again, we've got a new patch coming out that will lift it up. We released ours in 2008, so it follows technology. Your texture work and stuff follows the power of a computer. But now our new patch will kind of lift that. But we're more of a physics company. I mean, we focus strictly on the performance protocols of the car, and right now I think we're probably in the 90th percentile of the protocols the driver can train on, from aerodynamic protocols, positioning protocols through aero, from tires to every aspect of how that car performs. We're in the 90th percentile of what a driver will go through in the real car. So it makes a huge difference on the familiarization process. And kind of like Mike Dillon, who we work real closely with RCR, would say, is we help provide confidence to drivers so that when they get out there, they're more confident and they spend less time trying to learn a track and more time trying to be the fastest guy at the track.
Sure, yeah. Now your software here, and I'm sitting here looking at it, and you've got quite a bit of. I mean, you got Charlotte, Daytona. Of course, we were talking about it. You got DeQuinn, which is dirt. You got some. Do you see any nationwide and Cup guys getting some of this too, so they can go run Chicagoland and Charlotte? And
yeah, I mean, we've got in our development side of it, we've got sometimes we have tracks that are in a state that aren't released yet, but can completely be tested on and effective for a driver. So a lot of times when a driver is working with us, they have access to our development network, so they're able to utilize maybe tracks we haven't released yet, and there's definitely more of them out there. So they're able to get in and work at more tracks. And then some of them will use, if we don't have the tracks, they'll go to the competitor, our competitor software, and use those. I mean, for a driver, they want to get in there and turn laps at it. I think the biggest thing with our software is not only are you learning the track, but when you're really out there around other people, not you're learning how to set up a car, because our setups are almost a mirror of what you'd use in a real car. But you're able to learn aerodynamic protocols, and so many protocols that most sims don't have. So as we add more tracks on, they take advantage of them. Sometimes they're taking advantage of tracks that are yet to be released that we have in our dev build. And as we're a small company and we're a newer company, so as we're growing, we're building a bigger library of tracks so that we can provide more of a better experience both for the drivers driving professionally and for the enthusiast or the sim racer. They all want the content. So, and as we're getting ready to do the trucks and nationwide cars and stuff, those tracks will be following right behind those vehicles.
Now, you brought up a good point, and I just thought about this. How do you get the setup information?
We work directly with the teams, and the ARCA car. Not only did we work very closely with RCR and Gibbs, but Joe Gibbs Racing, after a while of building the suspension, the virtual suspension, and the aero modeling and stuff, they worked really closely with us. A couple of their top engineers, as well as our engines. All of our engines are all built off Gibbs. They're made directly from a Gibbs engine dyno. So I mean, you have the same power curve, same everything from what they're running. But they had worked with us closely on the development of the physics for aerodynamics, suspension, chassis, front end geometry, things like that. And I think the more that they got involved in it, the more that they didn't want to give us information and then us do it. They just asked for the files, so they took the files by themselves, and a few months later came back and said, we not only did we start it, but the whole company and a lot of our engineers got really excited about this. And I think there's some guys from Red Bull that they just are friends with that got involved in it, and they basically built the suspensions and the aero mapping and all that for our ARCA car. Similar things happened on the truck. It's just been more of RCR who's been really involved in providing us that information. So I mean, we work directly with the teams, and I don't think you could make a sim without it.
So in other words, you're getting the setup information to put into the computer from probably the best people there is out there.
Yeah, I mean, and we, as I said, I had spotted. So I mean, with Jeremy Clements, we raced ARCA for several years, and every race that we ran, we were a top 3 car pretty much. We won some races, and a lot of second, third places, and we always have there's been a relationship. Jeremy's father owns Clements House of Power, Clements Racing Engines, so they're very popular for your late model Endurance engines. And RCR, as Ty and Austin grew up, Tony Clements provided engines to them. So in return, when Jeremy got up into ARCA and now in Nationwide and whatnot, they give him cars. So in working with Jeremy, we became real close with the guys at RCR, and the setup book that comes with our car is the same setup book that they use. So we're able to know exactly what setups fit this chassis, as well as if I have a question about a setup or something, I'm real close friends with Ty and Austin and Flash, who's Ty's crew chief, are real close with us. So I just call them up, and they'll tell me exactly what they're running, and we can go to the track. But we don't want to pigeonhole it to being, this is what an RCR setup should feel like in the game, and it's the only thing that should work right. I mean, we don't want to know that you can put an RCR set in there and then go to a Gibbs set, which might be off from left field in a lot of aspects of the car, but that it should also perform at that same level. And the software outputs telemetry. So the same like PI Research or Motec, we're able to get that same telemetry that teams get when they go out and test of every aspect of the car, from ride height to suspension to brakes, everything, wear on the tires, and we want to match that data from those setups at each track. So we custom build our physics for each track instead of having like a speedway car that goes to every track. In real life, when you go to Pocono or a certain track, especially tracks like Pocono, you might run an intermediate car, but for that track you might slap a body panel on that has a little bit more of a bubble over the right rear tire. You generate a little bit more downforce.
Yeah.
You got to mechanically loosen up the car so much to get through 2 and 3 that you're too loose in 1. So you want to have as much downforce back there as you can. So those little changes that aren't really a setup change, it's like you come to the track with those changes. We make those changes track to track so that the proper setups for these cars do work in the sim.
Now, like some other games that I've played, and I'm a big fan of Tony Stewart's Road to Knoxville dirt sprint car.
You bet.
You can change things. Can these drivers go in and say, well, I didn't really like that setup. I want to change it a little bit and see if this works?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've got pretty much every change you can make in the real car. Now there's a few changes in just, the way that technology works and the games work, which most people don't understand is, if, say, a track bar adjustment, being able to lift that track bar from the first to the third spot, that can affect 15 other areas that computer is already making calculations on. So that one adjustment's very taxing on a computer, very hard for that. It's like you could make it, but then you get out there and the computer's struggling to keep up with making all these new calculations on that change. So we have pretty much everything they've got besides some of the more in detail ones, and I'd say they're more set up things that are at the shop setup stuff, like when you come to the track, a lot of times they already know where they want their truck arms. They already know where they want certain things. From once they get there, it's going to be more of the normal general setup stuff, from white arrow to suspension, ride heights, shocks, springs, cross weight, front to rear weight, toe in, toe out thing. The more normal, and we have that entire range as far as the stuff that's done at the shop, as far as a truck arm adjustment or maybe a body arrow adjustment that's outside of fender flare. We make those adjustments track to track, and most teams are all very closely aligned as far as, not every team, but the people that you see lapping people, they all know what each other's doing, and they
exactly.
And we follow what they do. Nothing against people that are getting lapped, because that's where we've been for years. Especially with Jeremy, and he's a great race car driver. It's just it takes money to go that fast, and there's a lot of people struggling for sponsorship right now. Doesn't represent their ability as drivers, in my opinion, which is a commonly misunderstood thing in racing. It's like, man, trust me, some of these kids could go way faster if they just had a little more money.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how money does that to you, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's racing. It's a very humbling sport, and we focus basically on trying to create realism for in a replicable vehicle that is going to provide a benefit to drivers and be fun for the simmer. And the stronger computers get, the more that you'll see simulation be a huge part of the NASCAR industry. But even more fun on the sim racing, because we're just able to do more and more every year, and pretty soon it's going to be it's already very, very close to driving these cars. I mean, we're very confident that you can in the ability to train people in it, and you build skill sets by doing it. You learn by doing, so it's fun education.
I'm going to ask you this. Do I need a steering wheel? Can I go get this program and take it to my house and put it on my PC and start racing?
I mean, you need not a super strong game computer, but a moderate one. I mean, a lot of the kids, I don't know if you have children, but the kids that are playing Call of Duties and some of the really high-end first-person shooter games, they require a little bit stronger of a computer than what we need. But your standard run-of-the-mill game system, $500-$600 computer from Best Buy, and you can get a $80 steering wheel from Best Buy and strap it on your, bolt it on your desk, or tighten it up onto the desk and get out there and race with full fields. And a lot of times on any given night, you can go to a track and find 2 or 3 real drivers in there racing too. I mean, the best thing for a real driver is to not just sit there and turn laps by themselves. It's to go turn laps around people, because the good drivers make good decisions while around a lot of people. Separates the two, and so they take part in the community, and it could be a lot of fun. Sometimes it could be just as stressful, and you can have arguments just like you have on a real racetrack in a sim, which is also part of the fun.
Yeah, yeah. So you do have, we'll call it league racing.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot. We have leagues all over the world that race the software, and they run it just like a real series. We run our own series, and you basically want to provide an environment or atmosphere for people to show up on a Tuesday, go through their practice session, focus on the protocols of their car. Don't just go out and race the clock, but get around other people, build a good race setup, go through all the protocols, qualifying, your warm-up session if that's included, and then get out there and go through the race. And by that time, hopefully, have learned how to pace yourself to the point of being good in the long run, knowing what adjustments you want to make on pit road, which you can make all the adjustments they can make on a real car on pit road. If you've got a setup that you're going to use for the long haul, when you get about 20-30 to go, make a few adjustments that might be a little bit harder on the tires, but are going to allow a little bit more speed. Know how and when to do that, and build your strategy, and go through the entire race weekend like they would in real life. It's a lot of fun.
So yeah, pit stops, tire changes, fuel, that's all included in there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, cautions, all your pit stuff, your on track protocols, rules, lucky dogs, cautions, all your pit procedures, the changes you can make on pit road. You can fix what damage you can. That'll be perfect if it's too bad, but you can fix it. And all that comes into the race weekend, as well as the yelling and screaming after the race if you're the one that gets taken out on lap 1 after you've spent 10 hours trying to get there. So I mean, the biggest difference is they might not have the financial investment of real racing, but they have a time investment from sitting there and practicing, especially when you get in there and race. These guys are good. I mean, these guys are, are sim acclimated in there, and the real drivers drive in the sim just like they do in real life, and you'll get a little kid that'll go up there and put a spanking on them, and Parker Figurman was one of them. Now he's in a real car.
Yeah, and these sim racing games are becoming hugely popular, and there's even a show on Speed Vision where they take PS2 drivers that were doing sim racing, and they're trying to get them into big race cars. Do you see that going?
Yeah, there's a big difference, and a lot of that's marketing. It's something that we want to do too. There's a big difference from a console or an Xbox, PlayStation software package to what you could do on a PC. They can make it visually very stunning realism. They just could never really achieve what you could do on a PC now. We sacrifice a little visual and have more realism, but a lot of that's marketing. We've long, and still will at some point, build a program that allows people to come in, go through certain levels, and achieve the ability to get into a car and check out. Not necessarily get right in a race, but go to fast track, go get checked out for the series or for late models, and kind of move through that. And that's long been a dream of ours, and I'm sure at some point we'll be able to achieve it. But it's a niche market right now, and it's new, especially in the pro world. So we're just happy to be a part of it, and still being alive in the economy, with the economy the way it is.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are doing great with it. I'm going to have to maybe finagle get you to send me a copy of it so I can play it.
Let me know. I'll send you a copy. You just download it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
You don't have a wheel and pedal, you can. We're working on the trucks now. You can download it and get in there. And you can watch. You can go into you can log into a server and click on the driver and just hit TV view, and it's pretty much just like watching them on TV, and it's pretty cool. Especially now. iRacing, who's one of our competitors, really knocked out of the park with some track stuff, and technology has come a long way in the past 3 years. So there's just a lot more available to us. So it's becoming more and more fun to watch these. Even just watch the car, because it just still emulates what you see on the track, all the way down to watching the driver work that car. Work the wheel, getting around, and you see every little wiggle he's doing in there now. So it's a lot more fun.
So give us the website to where we can go get this and all that. Where you can, or how do we get it?
You just go to the simfactory.com, and on the front page there's a link that says download and start racing today. Download a package. Through there they can purchase the package, and it'll immediately download to their computer, and then they can start racing. And we've had some people that'll come in with a joystick and have a hard time when you're racing with guys with controls just because they're so smooth. But it's like a gateway drug. It leads you into it. Just same thing with console racing. You get on there, and you start having fun, and you realize sim racing's there, and more so for the older guy, maybe that has the money to buy some equipment here and there. It just leads them into it, and it's just a lot of fun. But we welcome any new members, that's for sure.
Simfactories.com. Yep. Go check it out. It sounds really exciting. I'm going to try to look at it a little bit as we go on through the night. And it looks like... Ooh, you got an NFL pool on here? Oh, no, that's pools. Okay, never mind.
It's actually the Sim Factory, THE, simfactory.com. It should take you there, and then just click on the Sim Factory gear section of the Sim Factory site.
Yep, and neat-looking website. I take it you guys develop your own websites. It looks great. Y'all got to go check this out. It looks cool. I'm going to talk to you about it. I might have to start sim racing.
A lot of fun. For people that really like racing, that if you're familiar with the cost involved in racing, even ARCA now, there's kids who are spending $110,000 a weekend, and very few of it comes from sponsor dollars. So not a lot of people are going to get in these cars, and that's why we struggle so much to try and make it real. Is if you can really provide a realistic experience to the race fan, not only will they get in there and be like, learn some things are harder. It's a lot harder to go left on a racetrack than people may think. But they'll learn it. And by the time they're done with it, there's a skill set they have. And the coolest part of the entire sim racing community, regardless of any of it, is when you see a driver, whether it be a young kid or an older guy that races with Allmendinger or Junior or Kligerman or McDowell, and ends up at a racetrack to go watch them race in real life, and comes up to him and says, "Hey man, I'm so-and-so, I raced with you." You will see that driver beeline away from the fans, go up to them and usually give them big hugs, or they treat you like you are part of their club. So it's getting to the point of being so real that there's a mutual respect between those drivers. I've always enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, and I think, there's a lot of times people always brag, oh, I got to race Dale Jr. on, and they all think that's pretty cool, and them guys like doing it just as much as the regular fans do.
They're in there training.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're in there blowing off steam and having fun, but 9 times out of 10 when you're in there with a driver, I mean, they don't have a lot of time to sit at their computer games, especially when the race season starts, so they're there to accomplish something, and a lot of times it's to kind of use you as their racing dummy. I mean, you're there to be the person that is going to make them make decisions to get around you throughout that race, and the better you are, the more hard they work at, the better driver they get.
Exactly.
It works well for both parties.
It works very well for both parties. Robert, we're going to let you get on out of here and get back to making some great games. We'll have to get with you. I'll have to see about getting on this Sims racing. Maybe I'll get in on a race or two one night.
You let me know. We'll get you set up with a copy, and you're more than welcome to come in with us.
Well, I appreciate you being on here, and you get some new products or something. That NASCAR, the truck series gets done, you'll have to let us know, and we'll get you back on here and let everybody know that it's coming out.
Good deal. Yeah, we're within a month from it, so we're getting real close. And with all the 2012 data, we're redoing the ARCA car as well, so it's pretty much a whole new game coming out, minus some of the screens that you see in the game. So we're really excited about that, and I'll definitely let you know. But love to get you in here, and again, thank you guys for your time tonight.
Man, thanks for being on here with us.
All right.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Bye.
I did it right. Nice guy, and looking at this is pretty cool. Think we could build a steering wheel and all that?
I don't have to build it. I already got one.
Oh, you already got one? I don't have one. I got one for the PS2, but I don't have one for the computer. I don't know if my computer... Hey, Doc, can my computer take Sims racing? It should be. We are waiting for our next guest. Look at that. On time. I love it. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Who do we got on the phone with us?
It's Tommy Pistone.
We got Tommy Pistone III, correct?
That's it.
All right, Tommy. Sitting here live on net. We don't have to do a commercial or anything, right?
No. Oh, no.
No? Okay. Tommy, give us a little background on you and tell us what you're planning on doing here.
Well, basically, I've been running legend cars, late models, things like that for Grandpa Tiger. And ran for him in Craftsman trucks in the past, and now we're going to run the Camping World Truck Series coming up, hopefully April 15th, I believe it is, when Rockingham comes around.
And any more races after that?
Oh yeah, we're trying to get enough sponsorship where we can run the entire year, starting after Rockingham, and then try to keep everything going. That way we can move up to nationwide, and then hopefully up the Cup after that.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Sounds like a little 14.
I was going to say, you sound like you're 19. Man, you're a lucky man.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it runs in our family. I don't know if you've met Grandpa or not, but he's 83 and going on 21. So I mean, he gets around pretty good. So it kind of runs in the family. We all it's nothing but a number to us.
Now, are you the only grandchild, I should say, that's racing?
Oh no, we have a couple other cousins like Nick and Chase. They've run some races. I've got another cousin, Tom. It's there's so many Toms in this family. It's like they didn't want to think about any other names, so they just said just name them Tom. We've probably got a bunch of Toms, but I got 3 other cousins that race, but they're just doing legends right now.
Okay. How does it feel to be working with your grandfather? I mean, he's got such a storied history, and how is it working with Grandpa?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I mean, he knows me probably better than I know myself when it comes to driving. He does he's done every setup for my cars since I've started. So we got a good communication, and I can just tell him exactly what I feel in the car. He can make a couple changes, and then everything, he fixes it right then and there. We don't take too long, getting things dialed in.
So it's kind of nice having a driver, crew chief, kind of a do-all kind of guy behind you.
Oh yeah, and then you go to the tracks, and everybody knows you as Tiger's grandson, and and then you get to meet all the people that used to watch him race. So it's a lot of fun. I gave rides for the petty driving experience, and it was always neat. When people would get in the car with me that say that they watched Grandpa race, when they were younger, and and then I'm giving them rides around, like Daytona and things like that, around tracks that they watched him on. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty surreal sometimes.
Surreal every now and then. Have you ever had somebody come up to you and say, "Well, you're too young to be Tiger Tom"?
Oh yeah. A lot of them since there's so many Toms, they'll get us confused. They know him. They know him. He's too much of a character to be mistaken for me.
Yeah. Rockingham, you got a lot of people backing you on this, and a lot of people trying to get you there. How excited are you to come back to Rockingham and run a race? I know he's been doing other stuff there. He's had ARCA and all that. But NASCAR coming back to ARCA or to Rockingham, that's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's important. I mean, because all those tracks like Rockingham, and Andy's done a great job getting that back on track. But, a lot of those tracks are the ones that, made NASCAR what it is. I mean, North Wilkesboro is still, kind of sitting around in the weeds. But, it's good to have Rockingham back, and I hope not to just see the trucks there. I hope to see them bring back Nationwide, bring back Cup, because it is important to get back to the way we were.
Right. Yeah. Kind of get it back to and somebody brought that up to me today. Martinsville's actually the only true real track left on the schedule that was there in the beginning. Rockingham, they were there, I don't know, 60s, 70s, I think that place was built.
Yeah, I believe so. And, and then it's like you look at places like Martinsville, and, nothing's really changed there as far as, like, their the way they're shaped. But, like, you look at Richmond, Richmond is totally different than the way it used to be. And, you kind of miss, growing up, I watched a lot of those tracks, and I had hoped to run on a bunch of those tracks, and it's just good to see that we're getting back to some of the original things because it's important to understand.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, we lost you there for a second. You must be on a cell phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
That it's just important to get back to those tracks because it's important to the fans in that area.
Do you think we're going to see more of this, like going to Wilkesboro and going to, Rockingham? Do you think we're going to see a little bit more of that?
I hope so. I hope that's the direction that they're going in. Because I love NASCAR, and I love how they've grown, and it's good that it kind of helps me, feel a little bit better about it that they're looking at Rockingham, because it makes me feel like they're going to go back to their roots. And, they kind of need to. You miss those, like, extra dates at, like, Darlington and places like that. Because, those fans, they love it down there. And that's where, down south's where it all came. So we need to kind of stick with our roots.
I wish they would still do it, but and I'm going to ask you this because I have never got to see a race. I know of them. I've heard of them. I think my father's been to a couple. How awesome would it be to race back at Soldier Field?
Man, that would be crazy because some of the stories that I've heard, 50 cars on a quarter mile, things like that at Soldier Field, that would just be amazing. And knowing the history of that place, not just not just racing, but like the Chicago Bears too. I mean, that would just, looking at it today and thinking about, running in a little quarter mile, that would be awesome. Grandpa, he's got a Hall of Fame induction coming up in Chicago, I think around that same date, and all those guys are going to be there. So, it'd be pretty neat to kind of meet those guys and listen to their stories about running big cars on a 40, 50 big cars on a quarter mile track like that. And those guys had to do a lot of beating and banging just to get from the 6th row up.
Are they going to do? And if you get to see your grandpa, tell him congratulations on that. I've been reading up on it, and I think that's well deserved. I think he needs to be in the Illinois Hall of Fame for that. But is that going to be at Soldier Field?
Hey, put him in all of them.
I don't believe it's going to be at Soldier Field, but it is going to be up in Chicago. I mean, it'll be a good homecoming, and I think some of the drivers from Soldier Field and around that area, and the promoters are going to be there. So it'll be good for Grandpa, and it'll be good for all those guys to see each other again.
Are you going to go up to it?
If I have the opportunity, I'll go with it.
Yeah. Now, we're sitting here and you're trying to get ready for Rockingham, and what else do you do? Do you got a full-time job? I mean, or is this you're trying to make racing your full-time job?
Trying to make racing my full-time job. I mean, I work with with Grandpa, but the part-time is like giving rides for the driving experience for Petty. But mostly it's just trying to make racing the full-time deal. And hopefully it'll work out. I mean, giving rides at all these tracks isn't it's not too bad of a job.
Yeah. Now, what tracks do you go to? You said you're doing the driving experience. Do you go to Chicago and Texas, and you don't happen to go to Rockingham, do you?
Oh no, we're not there yet. But we have Charlotte, Talladega, Darlington. We got a lot of places, and then they're moving into Canada. And I mean, it's pretty neat to work with them, and you get to meet a lot of people. And like I said, I've met a lot of people that used to watch Grandpa race, doing that than I have in with me just racing.
How many more races are you going to try to make this year? We know Rockingham. You're definitely going to make Rockingham, but how many more are you going to try to make this year?
I'll tell you the way Grandpa says, if we have the funding, we'll run the rest of the year. So that's basically the only thing that is the funding. If we get the opportunity and to get a full-time sponsor, or to just get sponsors for certain races, we'll run the rest of the year.
Any special place you're looking to go to?
I'd look forward to go to Daytona. I like the draft, and I'd like to go to Charlotte. It was funny. The first Legends race I ever won was at Charlotte. We got in the victory lane. Grandpa said it took him 40 years to get there.
Yeah, he had never won at Charlotte, had he?
Oh no, they had a Tiger Pistone there back in I think it was 1966. But it'd be cool to try to get a win there. In the NASCAR sanction race.
Right.
Charlotte and Daytona and Bristol. Those would be the 3 tracks that, I'd like to go to.
Now, you're not a big Martinsville fan, or?
Oh, no, I like Martinsville. That would be fun to go there because he won there. So, I like that track. You got to have a lot of motors, like 2 drag strips, connected with some hairpin turns. But, it would be fun to go there.
Yeah, I think Martinsville would definitely be fun to go to. Where else are they racing at this year? Now, have you ever done a road course? I'm going to ask you that. You've probably done it in Legends, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done that in Legends, but I haven't done that in anything bigger yet. I'd like to. That'd be fun.
Have you done any? Now, and I'm just we just had an ARCA sim racer on here. Do you do any of that sim racing?
No, I don't do it online. I have a program and everything, and I do it. I just do it at home. But I've never gone online with it. But I mean, that thing's getting pretty big where everybody's online doing it. They got, some of the drivers are actually into it.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are doing it now, and it's amazing. Who was it says that they go and run if they're going to a new track? Even the Formula One guys are doing it.
Oh yes, I mean they have just technicality that they go through with those games now and those online simulations. I mean they're no deal. I mean other than feeling it, I mean it's just like the real thing.
Yeah. So, Tom, I'm gonna let you get out of here. We got Andy coming on. Do you want to stick around with Andy?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think he just called in. The show's actually going really well tonight, and it's quick, and I'm hungry.
You're always hungry.
I'm always hungry at this time of night. Running a Chevrolet this year, right?
Not too sure yet. Grandpa's leaning that way, but he hasn't said exactly yet.
Well, so you don't know what the truck's going to be for?
No, not yet. Grandpa hasn't lend one way or another.
He's not letting the cat out of the bag, is he?
Yeah.
If you look at like how many poles and wins there were last year, it'll probably be like Chevrolet.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. I see your aunt's on here. She's saying she is one proud auntie, so you must be doing a pretty good job on here.
I'm trying.
So, no, you're doing a good job. It's Andy, right?
Yeah, tell Tommy who it is.
We already did.
Oh, you already told him
I
Andy's
told
on
him,
the phone?
yeah, we're going to have Andy on the phone.
Well,
Andy
Andy is on the phone. Not have, he is.
Go away. We got this. We got
He
this.
ain't said nothing. You've been doing all the talking. Hey, Andy, I just wanted to say hi out here.
Hi, hey there.
We have, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have Andy Hillenburg on the phone with us.
Indiana Andy. That's a call sign from a long time ago, but still much appreciated. Thank you.
And I'm going to tell everybody that's watching this, in your heyday, your sprint car days, we had Andy Hillenburg, and we had Okie,
Yeah.
Andy Hillenburg. And so this is the Indy. Tell us a little bit about how you ended up where you're at today. Kind of start at the beginning and kind of bring us up to date.
Oh boy, that's a really long story, but a fun one. Raced on the dirt there all over the Midwest and a little bit around the country, racing sprint cars, All Stars, World Outlaws, USAC, Silver Crown cars. Whatever we could talk our way into, and had a great time with that. And about 10 years of my career, decided to move to Daytona because I'd always wanted to run the Indy 500, and it just didn't seem like that was going to happen. So moved south to hopefully run the Daytona 500 someday, and ran stock cars for a few years, and was fortunate enough to win the ARCA championship, and went on to run the Daytona 500. And right after that race, a few of my buddies were like, well, maybe you ought to go back and run Indy now. I'm like, well, if you guys want to go, now would be the time, because I wasn't getting any younger, and I was able to go back and run the Indy 500 there in 2000, and as a 37-year-old rookie, thrill of a lifetime. And after I did that, my driving career, I was pretty much good with it, and started slowing up a little bit, but not being a guy to slow down. We ended up with a racetrack, a little track down here in North Carolina called Rockingham Speedway. I think you guys have heard of that one.
Yeah, we know that one pretty well.
Been there too, Andy. You know that.
Oh yeah, and it's been we've been doing that for the last 4 years and having a great time, and learning the ropes of being a promoter. Being a competitor for so many years. You just really see the sport really one-sided. Like, what can you do to beat it? What can you do to win the race? And when you're a promoter, you really have to look at all aspects: the sanctioning body, the fans, the television, the radio, you name it. Everybody that's involved, and so you really learn a lot, promoting the races, and see a lot of the things that were always just behind the scenes. And I'm really enjoying myself, and we sure tackled on a big project. And after 4 short years, the racetrack was shut down for 4 years, and then we got it reopened. Been running, ARCA and UARA and the Frank Kimball cars and a lot of different racing series. And proud to say that we got NASCAR to come back here in April, on April 13th, 14th, and 15th. And couldn't be any more excited about that. It's a pretty big feather in the cap for myself and our staff. And I think it's a big feather in the cap for all the old-time race fans, because I think their voice is being heard, that, we should still be racing at places like that. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and boy, we're getting ready. 2 months away. It's hard to believe. It's only 2 months from now. NASCAR will be back with the Truck Series at Rockingham Speedway.
Yeah, Andy, now that you're talking about that, we have Tom Pistone III, who is now a new Camping World truck driver. He will be making his debut at your track. He's on the line with us also.
All right. Hey there, Tommy.
How's it going, Andy?
He asked, how's it going, Andy?
Oh, doing great. We're actually down here in Daytona. Got down here late last night, and here for the ARCA race. I'm fielding a couple cars and still right in the middle of the action that way, but I can't get enough of this sport. I know you're the same way, Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Andy's a great guy. He hooked us up with a chassis. He's been great to us. I know Grandpa loves him to death, and I do, too.
Now you said you're fielding cars for ARCA. Any chance we're going to see Andy Hillenburg back in a car?
Well, I've been threatening here for a while. I haven't raced in about 7 years, and it sure would be fun. I'm never saying never. I never really retired. So, but right now, my focus on the sport is around the speedway. Now, we get through April when we have the kind of event that I'm hoping for. It might be fun to jump back in a car and run a couple races here or there. I might have a good time with that. So, but at the moment, all my focus is trying to make sure that we have a great April 13th to 15th weekend.
And I'm sure you will. And the buzz is, anybody you talk to, they're saying the trucks are going to Rockingham, and I think everybody's excited about getting back to Rockingham.
Yeah, everywhere you go. And that's what's giving me the energy. We're working 16, 18-hour days, and loving it. I'm not complaining by any means. We signed up for this, and I enjoy doing it. But when you get that kind word from the fans that hey, we're glad that the Rock's back, we appreciate what you're doing, it just gives you that extra energy to go out there and maybe accomplish one more project before the end of the day. And we've got a lot of projects to do here in these 2 months.
I'll bet you do, getting the track ready, and I'm sure NASCAR is going to want certain things in there. Tommy, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to finish up here with Andy. But Tommy, is there anybody you really need to, you got some sponsors and people you need to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank, my Aunt Crystal and my grandfather. Thank everybody that's been helping out so far on Facebook. I appreciate everything y'all have done. Andy, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the chassis and everything you've been doing to help us. And good luck down there, and good luck with the promotion of the truck race. And
we really appreciate that, Tommy, and I do wish you all the luck. I know, it's neat to see the young racers coming up that have the talent, that they're going to keep moving on up if they can get that opportunity. And that's the one hard part about, all these young racers facing. And, I'd encourage anybody out there, if they ever wanted to help out on a truck, get with Tommy, his grandpa, Grandpa Tiger there. He's gonna clock me one for saying that. But Tiger Tom, he'll put a good truck under him, I hope, and maybe even start showing what he can do out there in the big leagues, and hopefully get a few more opportunities at it, because it would be great to see, and really proud to have Tiger and Tommy coming over to visit us in April for sure.
Oh, and I'm sure he'll be glad to get there too. I'm sure Tiger's chomping at the bit to get out there.
Tiger is. He hasn't slowed down. I've known Tiger for since I've moved to Charlotte, and had heard stories about him prior. And what a great man. He's done a lot for the sport. He's done a lot for the young racers that a lot of people don't know. And actually, he was one of the first people to help me when I moved to Charlotte. And I definitely wish him all the luck in the world.
Okay, watch out. He'll probably jump in the truck.
You'll want to be jumping in the truck. Oh, my God. I can see it now.
The uniform looks baggy. It ain't me.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, we'll go ahead and let you go then.
Tommy, you take care. We'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, thanks for being on.
All right.
Okay, let's see if he can do it. Andy, you still there?
I got you.
I'm gonna ask you this, and I've been having this feeling lately.
Gas again?
No.
Stay away from the beans.
Yeah.
You started out, and I'm sure you started out in the midgets and the sprints and all that. Have you been having the hankering to get back into some sprint car racing?
Oh, yes. I went and dabbled with that a couple of times as I started feeling older. I do a lot of public speaking. Very fortunate to be able to go out and speak to a lot of fans, luncheons and dinners and so forth about the sport that I love so much, and a lot of us do. And that's one of the questions that I get, having driven so many different types of race cars. If I could ever only run one race in the world again, it would be the Indy 500, because that's just the coolest thing there ever was. If I could run a season, I'd want to run a season of NASCAR Cup racing. NASCAR is the most competitive race circuit in the going right now, I feel like. Wide diversity of racetracks, great fan base from all over the world, really, but especially obviously here in our country. And I want to do a season. If it was midnight and just me and the stars up above, I would love nothing more than take a sprint car out in a little half-mile dirt track. Nothing really beats that.
Have you had the chance to even sit in one? And now Bristol had wing sprints there last year, asphalt sprints. Have you thought about bringing them into the Rock?
Oh, no. The Rock is definitely way too fast for that. Now, possibly someday that might be something to have a dirt track over there, because the complex that we're trying to do with the new addition of the half-mile Little Rock Speedway, we've got a quarter-mile inside that where the Legends and Bandos race. There's a road course on the facility. A dirt track sure does sound good, but not until we make this NASCAR weekend a super success and a couple of years under our belt before I'm going to tackle anything new.
How is it? And I'm going to bring this back up because I know a little bit about your history and all that. How do you feel about when you get these guys that are coming up now in the truck and they've been in ARCA, but they've come from the sprint car ranks? Do they come looking to you saying, "Hey man, what am I doing wrong? What do I got to do to make this transition?"
Well, a little bit, yeah. I've been running the fast track driving school now for a little over 20 years, and I've worked with a lot of great talent coming up. I've been fortunate. People have flown in all over the world for me to coach themselves or their kids, and so coach is something, a tag that I've got put on me, and I do enjoy that, and it's neat to watch them coming up through. It really is.
It's kind of fun to watch them make that transition, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every time they move up and they have a little bit of success. I mean, if you coach them along the way, you feel a part of that success, and that's what keeps me charging forward. I'm involved in so many areas of the sport, and each one kind of supercharges me. I just feel like I'm bouncing all over around in the sport and just enjoying every minute of it.
You've gone from racing, and you're one of the lucky few here, and I'm going to bring up some names, and I'm going to go way back on you. I mean, you were racing with Brad Doty and Steve Kinzer and Rich Vogler and Steve, was it Steve Butler? I can't think of his name right now.
Oh yeah, Jack
Hewitt, Bobby Allen, Steve Smith, the dad. And then you've gone up into ARCA and the names that you've raced there, and now you've got Cup guys. do you find all these guys are pretty much the same? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with that. The guys that some of the most talented race car drivers I ever raced against never set foot in the garage at Daytona or Indianapolis. It's a common story, really. I mean, and that's not taking anything away from the guys that have been there. It's just there's only so many spots. That's just the way it is. You know, come this Daytona 500 here in a little bit, there's only going to be 43 guys in it. But that doesn't mean there's not a few hundred around the country that are awesome race car drivers. And I think that's, you know, you see that in every division. I think right now, with the way that these kids have come on, I think it's daggone hard to win a go-kart race right now. You know, every division of racing is ultra competitive right now.
What? Oh, you're playing with the... Okay.
Sorry about that, Andy.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm sitting here doing special effects on the video.
Yeah, Doc's doing special effects, and then he's doing something very not nice off screen.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was funny too. So there is a possibility we might get a dirt track at Rockingham. It's wishful thinking, though, right?
Oh, at this point, it's wishful thinking, and if Michelle's listening, I'm going to get a boot upside the head when I get back because we're working so hard to make this work. But it would be something that would be very fun and something that I would enjoy. But I've got to say that, you know, we've got a lot of work here to do because I want to make this mile racetrack, you know, this NASCAR weekend, and then we've got the modifieds coming to Rockingham in November. I've got to make these events ultra successful before I really even think we can challenge anything else.
Before I forget this again, and I meant to ask you this earlier, give us a rundown of your 13th, 14th, and 15th, your April dates.
Well, on Friday the 13th, that ended up being by accident, but there's a open practice for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series because they haven't been to the Speedway before. So there'll be a couple of 2-hour practices, as well as practice for the UARA late models and practice and qualifying for the Frank Kimmel Street Stock Nationals on Friday.
Okay.
It's free. It's free. We just want people to come. I mean, we want all the kids in the area to come and get their first taste of race cars and see what's going on. Just come on out, have a seat, won't cost you a nickel. Free parking, free in the grandstand, come and have a seat. Friday night, the city of Rockingham's hosting Thunderfest, and they're going to have a big party shut off the city square down there. There's going to be all kinds of vendors and attractions to see, a couple of live bands, autograph sessions with all the drivers. Then when we get to Saturday, we've got truck practice, and then we've got UARA qualifying in there as well. Then we'll have the UARA a 75-lap race, our first of twin 75s for the day, and then Truck Series qualifying, and then after that will be the 75-lap Kimmel Street Stock race, where we hope to start up to 99 cars. We've been doing this at the Polar Bear race, where we start them 3 wide, and our record's 71. And the first chance these guys have had to run on a NASCAR weekend, I really think that we're going to be pushing that 99 mark. We start them 3 wide, and we're hoping to get to 33 rows of free, and that'll be the last track event on Saturday. And then we've got a big concert, which we're going to get ready to announce the details for Saturday night out behind by Little Rock outside Turn 2. And then come Sunday's the big show, NASCAR's Return, 1 o'clock. And couldn't be any more excited. Tickets for that one range between $20 and $30. Kids are half price. We want to make this event successful, thank all the race fans in the community, and then build this up. I mean, you know, I would be happy with a nice little base hit or a double, but I'm sure hoping for the good of the track and the sport that we hit a home run, hit it to the moon. The track deserves it.
I think so too, and this has not just necessarily been. This is not a money-making thing for you. I know it is, but it's also been a labor of love. You have really just tried to make Rockingham and bring it back up to the prestige that it was.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I hope that someday it does make some money, and I sure hope that day is coming soon. But everything that we brought in, every track rental, every bit of whatever we have been able to bring into the facility has gone to back into improving it. We're improving the looks. We're cleaning things up. We're trying to add a couple concession stands, adding a couple of restroom facilities, added a camper lot. We're trying to keep investing in the facility, and we'll never be that space age one. I mean, we're not looking to be the new space age deal. I hope to be the clean antique one that everybody remembers fondly, and they want to come out, relive those memories, and make new ones that were equally as good as the old ones. And that's what we're after.
And I'm sure with you behind the scenes there, I'm sure you're going to make some memories for a lot of people. Have you done anything to the surface?
Oh, no way. And we won't for as long as I can hold out. Worn out asphalt is one of the secrets to good racing.
Oh yeah.
They need to have more racetracks that are wore out because drivers and crew chiefs come more into play. It evens out the technology bit a little bit, and that's where you see the tough drivers and the smart crew chief start racking up those wins. They may not lead the whole race, which they're probably not going to, because the smart guys will save their stuff, run hard, keep it going, and then come the last 100 laps, start trying to put it on them.
Exactly, and it's like a rough dirt track. You got to figure out how to get around there and save your tires.
Yep, absolutely. It comes down to tires at the end and a little bit of guts, and tough drivers, they want to win at tough racetracks.
Exactly.
Did you ask him about the pool?
Okay, I have to ask you this question. Somebody handed me a sheet of paper and wanted me to ask you this question. And someone asked if you were going to go swimming in the pool at Daytona this year.
I don't know about that, but I don't think so. Swimming's not my deal. My deal's all racing, and I think that started out on a bet there somehow. I think the story's starting to come back to me, but in the right situation, I guess I could. But let's wait till after April 15th. I don't want to catch a cold.
No, and we don't want you sick, believe you me. We wish you the best. I know it's going to be hugely successful. I think everybody wants to see you come back to Rockingham, and I really think it's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm coming down. So, I'm going to wish you the best, and we're going to let you get out of here because I know I can hear people in the background.
Well, we really appreciate it. And, all the fans, log into RockinghamSpeedway.com. You can keep up with all of our updates of what's going on. There's a Goodyear tire test that's going to be coming, I believe, on March the 6th. It's open to the public for free. Come and watch. You can purchase your tickets online at Rockingham Speedway. And just want to see all the race fans that we can there. And if you see us out on the road before then, make sure you stop and say hey.
Now, when is your fast track? Well, we got to promote this fast track a little bit, deal. Tell us, when we can get in and do this.
Something near and dear to my heart. Fast track is, the driving schools. This will be our 24th season doing driving school, and we run Charlotte, Rockingham, Kentucky, Michigan, Atlanta, and just really love doing that. And you can log on to fasttrackracing.com. And come on out and drive a race car. If you're moving up in the world and you're a short track driver, this is for you. If you're a race fan, we have programs that are meant for you to come and see what your favorite driver is going through out there on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
And this is just not get in a car and go. You run them through the whole steps. You train them and do the whole 9 yards, don't you?
Absolutely. We've got programs that vary all the way up to where we start put them actually in ARCA Series race cars passing, drafting exercises, all kinds of things like that. So, whether you're the first-time driver and want to try it, or somebody that wants to get to Daytona in a hurry, we've pretty much got a program that I think can help you out.
Well, cool. And so that's fasttrack.com.
FastTrackRacing.com.
FastTrackRacing.com. RockinghamSpeedway.com, I believe, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go check them out. We're going to get you on here one night. We're going to have a dirt night, and I'm going to get you back on here.
I'm in for that.
All right, I'll get you back on here, and we can swap old mud stories.
Good deal.
All right, Andy. You have a good night.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for being on. We'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. Wonderful tonight. Andy is always a great guy. He's someone that you can talk to all night long. Tom was great. The Sims guy, Robert, that's pretty cool. And they're going up against iRacing and all that. And
hey, when you get ready to go to Rockingham, if I'm not going, just let me know. I'll get you up with Andy. He'll get you media pass.
Yep. Yeah, we've already talked about that. So, yeah.
I accidentally left my camera running one time inside the media center while the officials were having a race and talking about other drivers.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
One
So
of these days I'll pull it out and look and see, because it was left on for 4 hours.
So, anyway, great show tonight. Do we know who's going to be on next week? More surprises coming. We got Doc broke down and bought this cool little machine that does this funky little thing on the jigamadugger.
It's a video mixer, synchronizer, tightener.
It's a cool little thing. We'll have to play with it a little bit more. You got anything to add?
No.
No.
He's so talkative.
David Rudiman is going to run the Daytona 500 now in the number 93 car.
Okay.
So he didn't know if he was going to do that or not, but now he knows he is.
Okay.
And that's about it. That's about all I know.
Did you go through the thing with the Red Bull and everything? Now that Red Bull's finally been got that.
Don't know the exact name.
The investors.
I'm not going to say it. It's an investors group. They bought 6 or 8 of the cars, and they bought a lot of equipment from Red Bull Racing. They bought the points to the 83 car.
Right.
So Landon Castle is going to run a full season under this investment group. I'm not 100% sure of the name. I'm going to check on that before I come out and say what it is. But that's good. Landon in a car, so he'll start. There is a lot of buzz. There's a lot of people pissed about Danica Patrick getting the points the way she did. But the bad part about it is our last year's Daytona 500 winner, Trevor Bayne, how do you think he got in? The exact same way she did. Those points were bought from Richard Petty Motorsports for the Wood Brothers to make sure that he got in.
But he would have been able to get in anyway. He won last year.
No. Last year, the Wood Brothers did not have enough. They did not have
I know he didn't
top
have,
35.
I know he wasn't top 35, but wouldn't he be able to get a pass winning for the race? Past race winner?
Last year?
Yeah, because he won it last year. Trevor.
I'm talking about last year. That's how he got in last year.
Last year. Okay.
Okay, I think he did get it in on time, though. But they didn't want to take that chance, and I think Danica will make it in on time. I think everybody just needs to stop looking at her as a woman and look at her as a racer. And just shut the hell up. She's the best thing that's happened to NASCAR. Let it go. Okay, are we queuing up here? Queue up. Go ahead.
No, if I click it, we go over it, and then we don't get to finish talking.
Oh, it doesn't queue up?
No, once it's already ready for queue. All I gotta do is click it and it goes. You know, share type thing. You know, it's like green, you know.
Yeah, go.
Anyway,
I never listen to that anyway.
Yeah, I do.
I did.
He's a little slow, I know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was actually quicker than y'all.
Oh, gee.
I always tried jumping. I did too.
Yeah, okay.
You're lucky I didn't feed the audio in with the videos.
All right, let's get out of here.
like
Have
to
a
thank
wonderful
everybody for
night.
watching us tonight. We will be back next week, and we're still. I've got possibly an end to getting Tony Stewart in.
Sweet.
Would be nice.
I can't tell anybody how that's working because I got to tell the person I'm going to get to do it yet. It's nice when you do favors for people.
And it would be nice if we could keep Doc quiet behind the scenes.
Yeah. If it weren't for me, this thing wouldn't be here. Good night, all. See ya!
See ya.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive a 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.